it seems like Iran has always been the big bad wolf. But when it comes to North Korea, everyone's like, oh yeah, they have nuclear weapons and they continue to test them, but no one cares, right? So there's a little bit of acting when it comes to some politicians. They pretend to be a little concerned. But when it comes to Americans in general, we kind of make fun of North Korea. We don't really see them as a real threat, at least not at the moment. But with Iran, there's always this sense of urgency. Oh my God, they're building nuclear weapons. We have to do something. Oh my God, the uranium. We got to do something immediately. So why is that? And The Atlantic did a good job breaking this down, and I just could not wait to discuss this. So just to give you guys some specific examples of how American politicians freak out about Iran but don't care much about North Korea, in Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel's full-day confirmation hearing before the Senate Armed Services Committee, the word Iran was mentioned more than 170 times. North Korea was mentioned 10 times. Now remember, Iran doesn't have nuclear weapons yet. Yeah. North Korea does. Now, of course, the nuclear weapons that they have, or their nuclear capability, isn't all that impressive at the moment. Yeah. But we know that they have something. Yeah. Right?
I mean, they're Acme brand, but they do have them.
They do have them, exactly.
See, I'm part of the problem. I'm the one just joking about North Korea. No, but like, especially as the tensions between us and North Korea, and also between North Korea and South Korea and all that, have been ratcheted up in the past few weeks. Like, I know, at least if Reddit is representative, like, it's just jokes. Like you did on the main show a couple days ago, you did the picture of Kim Jong-un with the pig nose and everything. It just seems so easy to mock him. And it's because their culture is a little bit more foreign, and obviously their leaders are in such a different position than the average person. It's easy to mock them.
So before we get into like Asian stereotypes, because that's actually part of this, and I knew that it would be part of this, let's discuss some of the real issues. With Iran, and I love this explanation, I think it's the best one so far. With Iran, you have religious martyrs, right? So when you talk about nuclear war, a lot of countries that have nuclear weapons will not engage in nuclear war because they know that that will be the demise of their own country. For instance, if someone attacks the United States with a nuclear weapon, what do you think the United States is going to do? We're going to attack you with our nuclear weapons. So with Iran, there are more religious martyrs that might be willing to die in the name of their religion or in the name of their country. With North Korea, they care much more about their state as opposed to anything else, or making sure to preserve their state. So, and you all know that North Korea has been threatening us for a very long time. This is not some new development. Yeah. So I love that explanation. But then they also kind of delve into stereotypes. So when it comes to Muslims, of course, the stereotype is they're more dangerous, they'll engage in riskier behavior, whereas with Asians, they're seen as more timid, and people don't generally think of them as a threat. I'm not saying I believe that by any way, shape, or form, but that's just the general thinking behind it, which I thought was interesting.
And to some extent, that's reflected in popular culture. Like you see that who is the bad guy in the action movie, that changes over time. And for the last 15 years or so, it's usually been Muslims of some stripe or another from one country. It doesn't really matter which. Sometimes they're made-up countries. They will typically be the villain, whereas North Korea, like they were in one of the Bond movies, but I can't remember anything beyond that. Right. And I don't know if that causes some of what leads to us to fear Iran more than North Korea, or if it's simply a reflection of it. But that's going on too, the popular culture.
And also, you got to keep in mind that we have the influence of Israel, and Israel is, very much willing, or at least they claim that they're willing to attack Iran if they do see Iran as a threat. I mean, how many times has Netanyahu said, we're going to go in, we're going to attack Iran? So that kind of makes the situation in Iran a lot shakier. But another thing is, and I didn't know this story until recently, North Korea, the state media in North Korea had reported that they found a unicorn lair.
Look, I thought we covered that.
Look, if you're probably in the first hour, but if you're telling your people that you discovered a unicorn lair, even if you're threatening us with nuclear weapons, no one's going to take you seriously.
I don't even know if that's the craziest thing. Like, he's only ever bowled 300 and he invented oral sex. Like, they say a lot of crazy things about their leaders.
They do, but a unicorn lair? A unicorn lair. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
That's like the craziest.
They believe stuff in the Onion. I don't know. But I think that you did touch on the biggest one. Like they list in this Atlantic piece several reasons that we fear Iran more than North Korea. But I think that Israel is the most important part. Because I think, like, keep it real, the average American who does not care much about any country in the world cares about America and Israel. And in both of these cases, the country that we could potentially fear has a hostage to some extent. Iran has Israel as a hostage. North Korea, even more directly, has South Korea as a hostage. And the average American, for whatever reason, just does not feel any connection to South Korea for some reason, despite the incredible growth of evangelical Christianity in South Korea recently. I think that they just care more about Israel.